Morning. My 10-minute slot this morning is allotted to me for being a patron of this wonderful business club. And I thought long and hard about what I should use that next 9.75 minutes for. I could tell you about, oh, where's my flicker here? Hang on. I could tell you about our wonderful retirement development at Collingham, the apartments and the bungalows that we have, because you might have parents or grandparents, or some of you might even be old enough to qualify yourselves to downsize and join us. Or I could tell you about the excellent products that we make at our Rototech factories and ask if anybody's got new ideas for products that you could work with our design team for. And I could tell you about the fact that we are now the world's biggest manufacturer of sailing dinghies based here in Newark, shipping boats all over the world. But rather than spending the next 8 minutes doing that, what I've decided to do is use my patron slot to talk about 3 really, really important words. Imagine, do, and empower. These 3 words describe the things that as entrepreneurial business people we all have in our DNA. We imagine what we would like our businesses to look like. We then get busy doing stuff to create what we've imagined. And then once we've created what we've imagined, our aim is to empower other people to make the dream work. In simple terms, this is what we do. I turned 61, not 65. I turned 61 later this month, and it seems a long, long time ago since I bought my first wheelbarrow, you see on the left-hand side there, and started to do the things that I wanted to do to create the business that I was imagining in my head when I was 17 years old. I've spent a large part of my life doing. I'm sure we all have. Getting out of bed on a cold Friday morning to come to the Newark Business Club shows that we're all doers. It gets things done, it gives us a sense of achievement. However, the system that we're all busy doing stuff in is rapidly taking us to a point where the planet can no longer sustain our lifestyles and can't sustain the futures that we perhaps all imagined when we all started out in business many, many years ago. Now, I don't need to put up a David Attenborough presentation to try to educate you guys about the facts that we're on the edge of a climate and ecological precipice. I'm sure that most of you are aware of that. So, as entrepreneurial business people, what do we do? Do we keep our heads down? Do we keep being busy and carry on doing what we're doing? Or, as entrepreneurial business people, do we do what we did during COVID? We paused, we stepped back from doing, we reimagined our businesses and our lifestyles, and then we pivoted to a different type of business, a different type of activity, and we made those things happen. If you think back to COVID, we all started to refocus on our local communities, on health and well-being. We found ways to travel less and enjoy some of the simple pleasures in life that we'd previously been too busy to remember. On Friday, the 21st of April, up to 100,000 people from all walks of life will travel to Westminster for what is being badged the big one. These are doctors, nurses, teachers, economists, scientists, sports people, celebrities and students. Their reaction to the climate crisis is to make their voices heard by the large corporations and the political elite who don't seem capable of imagining a different future. This activism is finally starting to gain momentum. More and more people are wanting a different future, and this is creating an unprecedented need for change. There has never been a greater need for entrepreneurial people, you people here, to do what we do best. Imagine, do, and empower. But this time, our imagined future can't be purely built on material consumption. It will need to be built on innovation, which will deliver net zero carbon energy solutions, a circular economy, health and well-being, the regeneration of our planet and our communities, localism, and more importantly, or most importantly, happiness. A lot of the services that many of the people in this room are already offering. For that future to become a reality, there will need to be new businesses to deliver the new types of services and products that customers will need. But hey, this is still business, and it is probably the biggest business opportunity that there ever was. This image is of the development that I live on. I live at the house here. You can quite see it just at the end. As a developer, when I think about a new housing development, I think about the customer experience. I think about the lifestyles that residents are going to be able to enjoy. You have to start by imagining the future, and then you have to design and build your way to get there. So our architects then turn that imagined future into a design, and then we do and do and do. That's what we do. We build, we make it happen. We turn the imagined future into a reality. So this is 29 clean energy homes designed to create a sustainable community. And this photograph shows the residents celebrating being empowered to take ownership of the land we all share. I may have mentioned that I turned 61 this month, and I've taken a step back from being the chief executive of my group of companies, and I'm now becoming the group chairman and an investor in business startups, empowering the imagination of younger employees to grow our company and to grow new businesses that they're imagining. If you're keen to be part of a more sustainable, healthy future, then this is your time to get your imagination juices flowing. So some of the things that we're doing, that we're imagining, this is our new CoLab hub that we're building in Nottingham next to the railway station. It's solar powered, it'll have a plant-based cafe called The Allotment, a gym, an office, a working space, alongside people being busy doing there, eating healthy local food and getting physically fit. We will encourage our co-workers to find time to flex their imagination muscles. So watch out for membership if you fancy relocating or coming down and working from our space at Collingham. The plant-based food sector is growing exponentially. As people sort of aim to reduce their intake of meat for health and environmental reasons. Gusto are an investor with this company called Bosch, and they're encouraging more and more people to switch to plant-based diets through their healthy recipes. They're the world's biggest seller of cookbooks and the plant-based platform. So it's all about investing in the future. Another company we're investing in is a company called Hemspan. Hemspan are developing a range of building materials made of hemp, a plant that rapidly absorbs carbon as it grows and locks that carbon into the buildings that we will then build in the future. Another investment we've made is into a local media tech company which is aiming to reinvent the way that local news is delivered, ensuring that quality journalism doesn't get totally drowned out by the global media giants who dominate the way that we all think. And finally, I've been very busy since last summer, working with a fantastic team of both experienced volunteers and young volunteers to reimagine grassroots football. We're imagining a different type of spectator experience, a different type of player experience, a different type of corporate experience, which will gain support from progressive businesses. Well, I'll just go back on that. Anybody recognise themselves sitting there in the stand? So those people that came out last August and joined us at the Nottingham Football Club for the Newark Business Club meeting will hopefully have seen themselves sitting there in the stand. During a relatively short period of time, we've taken the football club to a level where we had over 1,000 people to our semi-final game against Nottingham Forest Academy at Nottingham, which we won, which means we'll be playing in the County Cup final, the first time a Newark team's played in the County Cup final ever, and we'll be playing that at Notts County's ground at Meadow Lane on the first Tuesday in May. So look out for that. We'd love you to be down there. We're going to do some corporate stuff and we'll put that out over the next couple of weeks. We're doing some interesting stuff around football. What other clubs have got drag queens down to their football match? Images of people enjoying themselves. Images of what imagining something, making it happen, and empowering other people to come on that journey looks like. So, really what I've used this slot for is to try to constantly repeat the word imagine. We all have the imagination muscle in our minds. Quite a lot of us are too busy doing stuff to sit back and actually use that imagination muscle. There has never been a more important time for us to reimagine the future. And if we can reimagine the future, and we can realign our businesses to be a part of that future, then your businesses and Newark will put itself on the map, and we'll all feel better about ourselves, our businesses will succeed, and we'll be a catalyst to make this important change that needs to happen. Thank you.
You look good in rag. I like it. It's a good look at you. Should go for it more often. Thank you, Steff.
Thank you.
One more round of applause for Steff.